remember the AFC Championship when I said that was the biggest I told you so of all I told you so's? Well, that Super Bowl last night proved me wrong. That was the biggest I told you so of all I told you so's. Not the Chiefs winning, oh, not even close. The fact that they made a deal with the devil and lost. That's just an embarrassment, Kansas City. You had that one shot at a 3-peat. That one shot, and you completely blow it. Yeah, an embarrassment to your fans, an embarrassment to Taylor Swift, an embarrassment to Lamar Hunt. I think that was his name. What a disgrace, but at least you 3-peated in AFC Championships. Welcome to the Season 1 finale of Grizzly Talks Football. Yes, this is the final episode of this season of Grizzly Talks Football. Next season, we'll start with free agency moves, like the biggest ones. And also, big trades that went down in the offseason. But for now, episode 60 will be the final episode of season 1. I know, this season is officially coming to an end with this episode. And the final two pieces of this puzzle is the Super Bowl reaction and the NFL Awards reaction. I was going to try to do a video like maybe Saturday or something, but, stuff happens. Excitement for the Super Bowl starts to kick in and you kind of get anxious. Once again, if you are new to this series, I will make sure to leave a link in the description with the entire playlist so that you guys can watch every single episode in there. All 60 episodes will be in Season 1. I will start up Season 2 once free agency and the NFL draft starts to really unwind for us. Also, make sure you hit the red subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single one of my videos. And yes, I do have a new shirt on. I like to keep it different. But now, without further ado, let's get to the Super Bowl reaction. But man, what in the hell happened in the Super Bowl? Like, Eagles got off to a 24-0 start, and then they just continued to just pummel the Chiefs defense and their offense as well, en route to a 40-22, a dominant almost Super Bowl victory. I know the Chiefs had 22 points, but that was all garbage time. How the mighty have fallen, but this is what happens when you make a deal with the devil. You have a steep price to pay. And unfortunately, it looks like the Chiefs did not pay it in full. Kenny Pickett has some stabs, but the Super Bowl MVP was indeed Jalen Hurts. Very accurate with passing, 2 touchdowns a pick, 220 yards. He had almost 300 total yards and 3 total touchdowns in this game. I mean, he had to step up entirely thanks to the fact that Saquon kept on getting shut down the entire game by Kansas City. The Chiefs' main goal was to stop Saquon Barkley, but it was the fact that the Eagles just had a lot of high-end talent that pretty much screwed them over, because when your main focus is stopping one guy and you let another star player get going, that's when it starts to become a problem. Nice to know that the Eagles adapted to the Chiefs' strategy. And also, we had Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown get touchdowns in this game. I mean, come on. Those two are amazing. And Jahan Dotson almost had a touchdown, but first of all, where the hell have you been all season? And as for the Eagles defense, they had a total of 6 sacks in this game. Milton Williams with 2, Josh Sweat with 2.5. Josh Sweat had an absolutely unbelievable game, and so did Cooper DeJean. Zach Bond had an interception. I think Avonte Maddox had like a pass deflection on 4th down, but Cooper DeJean had a pick 6 in the first half. That was the first interception Mahomes threw when Cooper DeJean read the play like a book and took it to the other side of the field and ran it to the end zone. And before all y'all start complaining about the penalties, they were pretty obvious. The refs couldn't save you because you were in so much of a shithole that you couldn't get your asses out of it. The referees can only help you for so long. When you play this bad in the biggest game of the year, referees can only do so much. I know Patrick Mahomes had 3 touchdowns, but 2 first-half interceptions and being down 24-0, it is hard for your team to get out of that hole. But let me tell you something, if the Chiefs would have won the Super Bowl, my MVP would have absolutely been Xavier Worthy. 8 catches, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns. Travis Kelce had a game to forget. 4 catches, only 39 yards. He had a couple drops. Don't let that DeAndre Hopkins touchdown fool you. He dropped an absolutely wide open pass from Mahomes on a third down that would have gotten a huge gain that might have gotten momentum for Kansas City. The real only highlight of this entire defensive performance was Brian Cook's interception. That was it. Because other than that, they just could not stop the pass and rush attack of Jalen Hurts. And before I forget, hey, shout out to Jake Elliott. 4 field goals, 4 extra points for a total of 16 points. He was absolutely unreal. Those of y'all saying he was a terrible kicker, he told y'all to shut up and let me cook. You cut the 5-star meal, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But holy hell, what a way to end the season. Philadelphia putting belt to ass on Kansas City to win the Super Bowl. Congratulations, Philadelphia. Now it's on to the next season. Second Lombardi for the Fly Eagles Fly Gang. And we are on to the next season as we speak. But before we get to the end, we still got some NFL awards to react to. And here we are. We have the award winners for this season of the NFL. Let's go from the bottom all the way to the top. Obviously, the ones that I didn't really talk about, the 5 awards that I did not talk about. Salute to Surface Award, presented by USAA Network, was won by George Kittle of San Francisco. Good for him, man. Not gonna lie, he's been doing a lot for the community, along with a guy that I'm going to talk about in 2 awards from now. Well, first of all, I gotta get to the Hall of Famers. Speaking of Hall of Fame class, there were 4 inductees. Jared Allen, defensive end, Sterling Sharp at the Packers receiver, Eric Allen, Eagles corner, and Antonio Gates, Chargers tight end. I know Eric Allen played for other teams, but man, some great players gonna be having their legacies remembered forever. Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award goes to the Jaguars nominee, Eric Armstead. Congratulations. Next Gen Stat Moment of the Year goes to Jaden Daniels, Hail Mary, I guess the Chicago Bears. I mean, no surprise here. And the AP Assistant Coach of the Year goes to Ben Johnson of Detroit. It just sucks that he decided to go look for some jobs as head coach instead of trying to help his team go to the Super Bowl. That's like a college team having dropouts and coaching hires instead of focusing on a bowl game, except it's more meaningful. Defensive Rookie of the Year, no surprise here, it was Jared Verse of the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, come on, he had the most pressures by any rookie, it wasn't even close. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Jaden Daniels. Also, no surprise there. Obviously, the best offensive rookie performance, especially at rookie starting QB, maybe ever. I don't know. What do y'all think? Is this the greatest rookie performance ever in a season? Do let me know. Next up, Defensive Player of the Year went to Pat Surtain of the Broncos. I called it. I said he was going to do it, and sure enough, he was it. He was the guy. Next up, we got Offensive Player of the Year. It went to Saquon Barkley of the Philadelphia Eagles. Are we even surprised? 2,000 yards, 13 rushing touchdowns. I mean, come on. That guy lit up the entire stat sheet the entire season. Comeback Player of the Year went to Joe Burrow. I mean, come on. Most passing yards, most touchdowns after last year's season-ending injury when they had to focus on Jake Browning to lead the to a winning record. It's just a shame that the defense couldn't do shit. AP Coach of the Year. This one surprised me just a tiny bit. I mean, it could have went to KOC or Dan Quinn, but it ultimately went to Minnesota Vikings Kevin O'Connell. To take a team that was destined to be failing when J.J. McCarthy went down with an injury, and to help Sam Darnold turn into a Pro Bowler is some impressive stuff. I mean, and to have a defense that's like a top 5 unit in the league? That's unbelievable. Dan Quinn could have been second. Why was Dan Campbell second? I know, the Lions were supposed to be one of the best teams. I don't know how people do Coach of the Year voting. I guess the Lions were supposed to be good, but not as good as they were during the regular season. I guess. I mean, they count regular season, not postseason, but still. Dan Quinn literally took a rookie quarterback and turned him into a superstar. and they made it all the way to the NFC Championship. Like, Washington went further in the playoffs than the Lions did. So why is Dan Quinn not second in Coach of the Year voting? And finally, we got the MVP went to Josh Allen. For those of y'all who are complaining that stats don't matter now, guess what? That divisional round matchup I literally said was going to determine who was going to win the MVP. And sure enough, after the Bills beat the Ravens in the divisional round, Josh Allen won MVP. I said it on my awards predictions, and sure enough, it happened. So I went 5 of 7 in the awards list, only getting the Coach of the Year and MVP wrong. For those of you who don't know, I picked Lamar Jackson to win MVP and Dan Campbell to win Coach of the Year. Or was it Dan Quinn? I can't remember. It was one of the Dans. And as for the playoffs, no 9-4 this time, as I lost the Super Bowl pick. The second year I tried it, IFCC last year, went 9-4. All my losses came in the wild card that year. This time around, it was 1 divisional round, 2 wild card games. Oh no, 3 wild card games, 1 divisional rounder. Oh no. Wait a minute. Now I remember, it was 2 wild card games, 2 divisional rounds, and 1 Super Bowl. That was for my L's this year. I did get the Super Bowl matchup right, being the Chiefs and Eagles at least, so that's pretty good. But man, the way it ended, I did not see that coming. But I probably should have, considering the Chiefs made a deal with the devil, and you know what happened. And thus ends a great 2024 NFL season onto the 2025 NFL offseason. Hope you enjoyed this great ride through this season of Grizzly Talks Football. Next season, I am hoping will be bigger and better than ever. Once again, if you love this episode, make sure you smash that like button, hit the red subscribe button somewhere down there, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single one of my videos. Should be uploading more sometime soon. You'll probably have to stay tuned for that. Anyways, this is the Grizz, signing off for now. Salute to our troops. God bless America. God bless this sport. And until next season, I will see you guys soon. Peace, love, and have a happy rest of your winter and beginning of spring. Season 2, we're coming in strong. See you later.